Picture this. You finally know the truth about the person you love. They're not who you thought they were. They've been lying to you from day one. They've manipulated you, used your feelings against you, and made you complicit in crimes you've never imagined you'd be part of. And somehow you love them even more. Welcome back to Between the Minds with Nina's Book Nook. I'm Nina, and if the last episodes had you questioning your moral compass and your professional judgment, this week we're diving into the most psychologically twisted part of this entire series. How Lana and Logan rebuild their relationship when the foundation was always deception. Because here's the thing that absolutely breaks my brain about this series. Most relationships can't survive one major lie, but Lana and Logan, they build their entire future on an endless web of them, and somehow it works. Fair warning. If you thought you understood healthy relationship dynamics before listening to this, yeah, you're about to question everything. Let's start with the most obvious question. How do you trust someone who's been lying to you since the moment you met? In any normal relationship, discovering that your partner has been fundamentally dishonest about who they are would be a deal breaker. You'd have trust issues for life. You'd question every memory, every moment, every I love you. But Lana and Logan exist in this weird psychological space where traditional trust doesn't apply anymore. Because once Logan chooses not to arrest Lana, once he becomes complicit in her crimes, they move beyond normal relationship rules. Think about it. Logan can't exactly say, I need you to be honest with me from now on, when he's literally helping her cover up murders. And Lana can't promise to never lie to him again when their entire survival depends on maintaining their secret. So they create this new kind of trust, not trust based on honesty, but trust based on mutual self-preservation. It's like, I trust you not to destroy me because destroying me would destroy you too. And honestly, that might be more reliable than traditional trust because it's not based on feelings that can change. It's based on consequences that are permanent. Now, let's talk about what's really happening psychologically when Logan and Lana stay together after the revelation. This isn't just love anymore. This is a trauma bond on steroids. A trauma bond is when you form an intense psychological connection with someone through shared intense experiences, especially dangerous or stressful ones. It's why hostages sometimes develop feelings for their captors, why abuse victims stay with their abusers. But Logan and Lana's situation is even more complex because they're both victims and perpetrator to each other. Logan is psychologically victimized by Lana's deception, but he also victimizes her by forcing to live with the constant threat of exposure. Lana victimizes Logan by manipulating him, but she's also victimized by having to constantly perform for someone who can destroy her. They're locked in this psychological dance where they're simultaneously hurting each other and protecting each other. And that creates a bond that's deeper than love. It's survival. Every day they stay together is another day they choose each other over their own safety. And that creates intimacy that's absolutely intoxicating and completely unhealthy. What makes their relationship function is their absolutely incredible ability to compartmentalize. They can be genuinely tender and loving with each other while simultaneously being co conspirators in multiple felonies. Most people can't do this. Most people need their relationships to align with their values. But Logan and Lana have learned to separate their love from their crimes, their tenderness from their violence, their genuine connection from their mutual deception. They can have sweet domestic moments, cooking dinner together, watching movies, planning a future, while knowing that this same person is capable of methodical murder and they can make it feel normal. This is actually a psychological defense mechanism called splitting. Instead of trying to reconcile two contradictory truths about someone, they love me and they're dangerous, you just accept both as separate realities. It's like their relationship exists in this parallel universe where normal moral rules don't apply. And once you step into that universe, it's almost impossible to step back out. Here's where their relationship gets really psychologically complex. Shared guilt creates incredible intimacy. Think about it. Logan and Lana are the only two people in the world who know their full story. They're the only ones who understand the weight of their secrets, the complexity of their choices, the impossible situation they've created together. That shared burden creates this us against the world mentality, and that's incredibly powerful. Every time they choose to protect each other instead of doing the right thing, they become more invested in their shared story. It's like psychological sunk cost fallacy. They've already sacrificed so much for this relationship that walking away would mean admitting it was all for nothing. Plus, there's something deeply human about being known completely, even the dark parts, and still being loved. Logan sees all of Lana's darkness and chooses her anyway. Lana sees Logan's capacity for moral compromise and loves him for it. That kind of acceptance is incredibly addictive. Once you've experienced being loved despite your worst self, everything else feels superficial. Let's talk about something that makes their relationship absolutely intoxicating: the constant element of danger. Most couples worry about normal relationship problems: money, in laws, whose turn is it to do the dishes. But Logan and Lana's biggest relationship stress is, what if someone finds out we're accessories to multiple murders? And here's the twisted part: that danger makes everything more intense. Every "I love you" could be their last. Every normal moment is precious because it could all disappear if their secret gets out. Psychologically, this triggers something called intensity addiction. When your relationship is constantly in crisis mode, when the stakes are always life or death, normal love starts to feel boring. They've conditioned themselves to associate love with danger, intimacy with secrecy, trust with mutual destruction. And once your brain makes those connections, it's almost impossible to feel satisfied with anything less intense. It's like they're adrenaline junkies, but instead of skydiving, their drug of choice is loving someone who can destroy them at any moment. What St. Abby does that is absolutely brilliant is show us how love can make us incredibly morally flexible without making us feel like bad people. Logan doesn't wake up one day and decide to become a criminal. He makes one choice to protect someone he loves, then another, then another. Each choice feels justified in that moment. Each compromise feels like the only option. And Lana doesn't manipulate Logan because she's evil. She does it because she's trying to survive, to complete her mission, to protect herself. Every lie feels necessary. Every deception feels like self-preservation. By the end, they've completely transformed who they are, but it happened so gradually that neither of them had to face the full weight of their choices all at once. It's like psychological frog in boiling water syndrome. If you throw a frog in boiling water, it will jump out. But if you put it in room temperature water and slowly turn up the heat, it will stay until it dies. So Logan and Lana slowly turned up the heat on their moral compromises until they could survive in a relationship that would have killed their original selves. Now, here's what absolutely destroys me about their story: their ending shouldn't work, but somehow it does. They build a life together that's based on lies, maintained through crime, and sustained by mutual blackmail. On paper, it's the most toxic relationship dynamic imaginable. But emotionally, it works. They understand each other completely. They've chosen each other over everything else. They've proven their love through the ultimate test, staying together when any rational person would run. Their relationship isn't healthy by normal standards, but it's honest about what it is. They're not pretending to be good people in a normal relationship. They're owning their darkness and loving each other because of it, not despite it. And there's something beautifully twisted about that. In a world full of people pretending to be better than they are, Logan and Lana found someone who loves them for exactly who they really are, darkness and all. But let's be real for a second. Their happy ending comes with serious psychological costs that the books don't fully explore. Living with that level of secrecy, that constant low level paranoia, that complete separation from normal society, that takes a toll. They can never fully relax. They can never be completely honest with anyone else. They can never have that support system that normal people take for granted. Every friendship is superficial because they can't share their real story. Every social interaction requires a performance. Every day is a choice to continue living a lie. And what happens when the adrenaline wears off? When the danger becomes routine? When they've been keeping this secret for so long that even they start to forget who they were before. Their love story is epic, but it's incredibly isolating. They have each other completely, but they have no one else at all. What makes their relationship so psychologically fascinating is that it's built on the principle of mutually assured destruction. They can't leave each other without destroying themselves. They can't betray each other without guaranteeing their own downfall. They can't even really fight the way normal couples do because the stakes are too high. In a weird way, this makes their relationship more stable than most. They can't break up over normal relationship problems because the consequences of separation is literally life or death. But it also makes their relationship incredibly fragile in other ways. Any outside threat to their secret threatens everything. Any mistake could destroy them. Any amount of weakness could bring their entire world crashing down. They're both each other's greatest strengths and greatest vulnerability. And living with that level of their interdependence requires a kind of psychological strength that most people don't have. So, here's what I want you to think about as we wrap up this deep dive into one of the most incredible series I have ever read. Is a relationship more honest when it's built on lies that both people acknowledge, or when it's built on truth that neither person fully understands? Is love more real when it's tested by normal relationship challenges, or when it's forged through extraordinary circumstances that most people will never face? And here's the big one. Would you rather be loved by someone who only knows your good parts, or completely known by someone who's seen your darkness and everything truly about you, but has chosen you no matter what? All right, my morally flexible book lovers, time for our final round of uncomfortable self reflection. And I just want to say thank you for those who have messaged me your answers. I loved reading them. If you had to choose between a healthy relationship with someone who only knew your surface level, or a toxic relationship with someone who knew and loved all of you, which would you choose? Do you think Logan and Lana's relationship is more honest than most normal relationships? Why or why not? And last, here's the one thing that always keeps me up at night and will definitely keep you up at night. What's the darkest secret about yourself that you think someone could love you despite? Really think about it. And don't forget, drop your crisis thoughts in the comments. Tag me on Instagram, slide in my DMs, message me on TikTok. I live for your chaos. I'm Nina, and thanks for joining me on this 3-part journey into the psychological minefield that is the Mindfuck series. We've explored the psychology of a serial killer who loves genuinely, a FBI profiler who chooses love over duty, and a relationship that thrives on everything that should destroy it. And as you can peep behind me, I have my book, the original cover. I love it. I cherish it. And I am really sad to end this series because this has been so fun. I can't wait to show you some more series that we talk about and maybe some characters. So, next week, we're starting a brand new series analysis. And trust me, you're going to want to buckle up because we're diving into some good characters who are going to make you question everything you thought you knew about right and wrong. Until then, keep loving dangerously. And remember, the best relationships are the ones that make you question whether you're the hero or the villain in your own story.